Before K-pop filled stadiums and lit up the world, there was TVXQ. 5 voices, one name, and a legacy that refused to fade. Even when the crown fractured, they carried it forward. This is why TVXQ still reigns as the kings of K-pop. 5 young men step onto a stage in Seoul in the 26th of December 2003. The oldest is 20, the youngest 15. They call themselves TVXQ, an acronym from a Chinese phrase meaning Rising Gods of the East, a name that sounds like a prophecy. SM Entertainment has built them carefully. Years of training, vocal lessons, and dance rehearsals, they have been shaped, refined, polished until each movement are precise. They debuted with a single called Hug. It doesn't demand attention with volume or flash. It does it with harmony. A soft cappella-focused pop song, deliberately showcasing the members' vocal talents and harmonies. 5 voices, layered so perfectly they sound like one instrument played by a master. Back then, in 2003, the market is crowded. K-pop was a battlefield of groups trying to be louder, edgier, more rebellious than the last. TVXQ took a different approach, and within months, the whispers start. Then the awards, then the recognition, and more people were discovering them. The following summer brings The Way You Are, a smooth R&B track that showcases their versatility. By October, their first ever album, Triangle, was released. It arrives with a harder edge, and each comeback sharpens their image. Each performance tightens their synchronization. Music shows begin to feel like their personal territory. Other agencies start reevaluating their training programs for their idols. Synchronization becomes a standard. Live vocals becomes non-negotiable. And quietly, the audience changes too. They begin to notice Yoonho's leadership, Changmin's vocal range, Jaejoong's tone, Junsu's belting, Yuchun's vocal runs. The 5 of them sings on stages like a single organism. When Rising Sun drops in October 2005, everything changes. The album was an experimental blend of different genres, with the title track Rising Sun revolving around the themes of loss of innocence and hope. Known for its demanding and synchronized choreography, robotic movements, sharp isolations, combined with the difficult vocal lines, making it a highly challenging song to perform live. The album itself includes multiple tracks, such as Tonight and Beautiful Life, and Rising Sun debuted at #1 on the Korean charts and was the 4th best-selling record of 2005. In support of their second Korean studio album, they went on their first Asia tour, performing to thousands of fans in South Korea, Malaysia, and Thailand. They are no longer rookies fighting for attention. They were becoming the standard everyone else must meet. By the end of 2005, the throne has been built, and 5 young men sit on it together, believing it will last forever. But the Korean market is already too small for what they are becoming. Before Rising Sun even releases in Korea, TVXQ drops their first Japanese single in April 2005. Stay With Me Tonight. Explore themes of longing, internal conflict, and the delicate nature of a developing relationship. But Japan is a fortress. The market is notoriously difficult. Foreign artists are politely acknowledged, then politely ignored. The Japanese music industry has its own stars, its own standards, and its own pride. TVXQ arrives not to conquer Japan, but to learn. They learn Japanese, not for interviews, for connection. They study the culture, the etiquette, the work ethic. They learn, rehearse, and kept learning until their bodies forget how to rest. Throughout 2006, as their Japanese releases begin to chart, the track My Destiny reaches #25. Breakout climbs to #4. Slowly, Japan begins to notice. Between these Japanese singles, they continue their Korean momentum with O in September, which became the best-selling record of 2006 after 1 month of release. The success of the album O gave TVXQ multiple Grand Prize awards in 2006, including Artist of the Year and Best Group. They tour both countries relentlessly. Korean promotions, Japanese showcases, back to Korea for music shows, back to Japan for fan meetings. The schedule is inhuman. Their first Japanese studio album, Heart, Mind, and Soul, was released in March 2006 and peaked at number 25 on the Oricon Weekly Albums chart. The following year, their second Japanese studio album was released in March 2007 and achieved a better result, peaking at number 10 on the Oricon Weekly Albums chart. This top 10 placement for a foreign act on the album chart signaled their growing momentum in the Japanese market. Throughout the year, they build momentum on both fronts, with Korean releases like their fourth album and Japanese singles. Then 2008 becomes their coronation year, one of the most successful and best years for TVXQ. Their Japanese single Purple Line debuts at number 1 on Oricon in January. A first for a foreign male group. The fortress has fallen. They follow with multiple Japanese tracks throughout the year, each one cementing their position in Japan. But it is September 2008 that changes everything. That was when Mirotic is released and Korea stops. The red suits, the slick back hair, the bass line that thumps through every club, every radio station, every teenager's headphones. It sells over 500,000 copies. Music shows become a formality. Everyone knows who will win before the votes are counted. TVXQ is no longer a group. They are a phenomenon, a cultural moment where everyone in Korea is listening to the same 5 voices. In Japan, their fourth album, The Secret Code, debuts at number 2, selling 230,000 copies in the first week. By mid-2009, their schedule has become impossible. Korean promotions, Japanese tours with releases, fan meetings, they were at the peak, untouchable. And then in the summer, everything fractures. The news breaks on the last day of July 2009. 3 members file a lawsuit against SM Entertainment. The words exclusive contract and unfair terms enter the public discourse. 13 years. That was how long their original contracts bound them. 13 years of profit splits that barely reached the artists. 13 years of schedules that break bodies and ignored pleas for rest. The lawsuit is not just about 5 idols. It's about an industry built on dreams and exploitation in equal measure. Young trainees who sign away their youth for a chance at stardom, only to realize the cost is far steeper than they imagined. In October, the court issues a preliminary injunction suspending the exclusive contracts of the 3 members. The split becomes official. The 5 will not stand together again. They chose to leave and take a stand against injustice. The 2 who remain, Yoonho and Changmin, fulfill their remaining schedules, attend their rehearsals, perform on stages that suddenly feel too large. The year 2010 passes in a strange limbo. The duo works on solo projects and musicals. They stay visible, without momentum. But TVXQ, the group, has gone silent. No comebacks, no group albums, no announcements. Just 2 men, waiting in the ruins of what they built together, trying to decide whether to rebuild or walk away. The kingdom has fractured. 2 members remain. Most would walk away, start fresh, let the name die with dignity. The comeback announcement arrives in early January 2011. After 14 months of silence, TVXQ returns, not as 5, as 2. The skepticism is immediate. A performance group designed for 5 members, now halved. Those intricate harmonies that once layered multiple distinct tones, now reduced to 2. Choreography built for a battalion, now carried by a duo. The odds feel insurmountable. Their comeback single is called Keep Your Head Down. The music video drops. and the symbolism is impossible to miss. The visuals are stark, deliberate, empty spaces where 5 once stood. The choreography is as sharp, if not sharper. Every movement, every note feels like a statement. We are still here. Their first comeback stage airs on a music show in early January. Aggressive, electronic, nothing like the TVXQ sound people remember. 20 backup dancers fill the space, but everyone can see the ghosts of 3 missing members. The album Keep Your Head Down sells 230,000 copies in the first week. It tops every chart in Korea. The music show wins come, one after another, until it stops feeling like a comeback and starts feeling like a reign. Following the release of their Korean album, the group achieved chart success in Japan with their single Why and the album Tone. Throughout 2012, they proved the comeback was not a fluke. Subsequent albums like Catch Me drops in September. Humanoids follows in Korea, while in Japan they release Still, Android, and One More Thing. TVXQ then embarked on the successful TVXQ Live Tour 2012 across Japan, which took place from January to April 2012 and gathered a total attendance of 550,000 people, their first concert in 3 years, and the first tour by the group since becoming a 2-piece band. By the end of 2012, the question changes. No longer whether they can survive as a duo, the question becomes whether anyone can still keep up. The kingdom did not fall. It just learned to stand on 2 pillars instead of 5. As 2013 unfolds, their Japanese dominance continues. Ocean arrives in June, followed by Scream in November. Both chart at number 1, hundreds of thousands of copies each. They held shows in Japan again and again. Tokyo Dome becomes a second home. Then, in January 2014, something drops, and it catches everyone off guard. The song used swing and big band styles, a jazzy sound featuring lots of brass instruments like trumpets and trombones. This felt totally new, like music from an old 1920s bar. The choreography trades sharp isolations for smooth, sultry movements. It was a risk. Idol music is not supposed to sound like that. But the song becomes a phenomenon, proving that TVXQ can redefine themselves without losing their identity. The Korean album Tense follows, continuing the momentum through May. Their Japanese releases maintain the pace throughout 2013 and into 2014. Their 7th Japanese studio album, Tree, arrives in September 2014, and the music continues to mature with them. Deeper themes, complex arrangements. They record entire albums in Japanese, with released in December 2014, followed by singles like Spinning and I Don't Know throughout 2015. Back in Korea, the respect is quieter but no less profound. Younger idols watch them from the wings at music shows, not to learn choreography, to learn how to last. Because by now, that has become the real question in K-pop. Not how to debut, not how to go viral, but how to survive a decade in an industry designed to replace you every 3 years. TVXQ has the answer, even if they never speak it aloud. And it is to not chase relevance, to build something too solid to ignore. But even the strongest reins must pause. And ahead lies a test that no rehearsal or stage could prepare them for. The announcement comes in mid-2015. Yoonho will enlist for mandatory military service on July 21st. The news is expected. Every Korean man must serve. But expectation does not soften the blow. For most K-pop groups, military enlistment is a death sentence. The momentum stops. And when a group only has 2 members, the silence cuts even deeper. Because when one leaves, half the heartbeat goes with him. The fans held on. Other K-pop group made names and reached a new height. Changmin continues alone for a while. TVXQ released the special Korean album Rise as God, which featured the solo track Rise as One as a final album before enlistment. He maintains the TVXQ name through sheer will. keeping the flame alive. Changmin's enlistment date arrives on November 19th, 2015. He released his first Japanese solo mini-album, Close to You, one day before his enlistment. And for the first time since 2003, TVXQ goes completely silent for 2 years. That was how long they were gone. For their fandom, that is an eternity. But Cassiopeia waits. What is 2 more years when you have already committed to a lifetime? After the duo was discharged each in April and August 2017, immediately they announced their return. After more than 2 years of silence following their comeback announcement, TVXQ held the TVXQ Special Comeback Live, Your Present concert series, and released the Japanese compilation album, Fine Collection, Begin Again, followed by the Begin Again Dome Tour, which was the first foreign artist tour in Japan to attract over 1 million attendees. They released the Japanese single Reboot before returning with the Korean album, New Chapter 1, The Chance of Love, in March 2018. The title is deliberate. A new chapter, not a final one. The album debuts at number 1, and when they step onto the stage for the first time in years, 50,000 voices roar back at them. Their voices have not weakened. Their movements have not dulled. In July 2018, they release The Chance of Love promotions, followed by their Japanese comeback. October brings their Tomorrow Tour, 26 shows across multiple cities. Every venue sells out. The demand is overwhelming, almost shocking in its intensity. They had wondered if people would still care, and the answer was deafening. Truth arrives on December 26, 2018, as the title track for the album New Chapter Number 2, The Truth of Love. This special album was released to commemorate the duo's 15th debut anniversary, a refusal to soften or compromise. And throughout the years, they released Japanese singles, including Jealous and Hot Hot Hot. Their Japanese tour XV celebrates 15 years since their Japan debut. They perform at 5 major domes. Every show sells out. But what matters most is the 2 men on stage, their voices interweaving with the kind of synergy that only comes from 2 decades of partnership. When COVID-19 halts concerts and cancels tours in 2020, forcing everyone indoors, TVXQ adapts. They held a live online concert, Beyond the T, as part of Beyond Live, the world's first online dedicated live concert series. The years 2021 and 2022 represented a period of measured activity for TVXQ, with members Yunho and Changmin largely focusing on their individual careers and personal lives amidst the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. In January 2021, Yunho released his second Korean solo EP, Noir. This deliberate pace allowed for individual growth and anticipation to build for their next chapter as a duo. As 2023 approaches their 20th anniversary, they prepare something special. 2 decades since the name TVXQ first entered the world. They release a special album in December 26, 2023, 20 and 2, marking 20 years as TVXQ and 2 members carrying the name forward. The title is simple, but the weight is enormous. The songs are mature, reflective, not desperate for radio play or viral moments. Just 2 artists who have earned the right to make exactly what they want. The duo held their 20th anniversary concert tour, and immediately after the tour, they announced their Japan-wide tour, Zone Tour, to celebrate their 20th anniversary in Japan. None of this was a reunion tour, not a nostalgia. This was TVXQ, and they had never stopped doing what they love. The K-pop of 2025 barely resembles the one they debuted into. The sounds are different, the visuals, the groups, but when industry professionals talk about the foundation, they still say the name. When new idols are asked who they studied, the answer comes up again and again, as a standard that still has not been matched. TVXQ's recent work refuses to chase relevance. It simply exists as the work of artists who no longer need to prove anything. Their concerts still sell out. Not because of TikTok trends or viral challenges, but because there are generations of fans now. Some who have waited 20 years, some who discovered them last year, some brought by parents who had never stopped believing. The duo never tried to reclaim the throne. They just never left it. Other groups rise and fall in cycles, trends come and go. The industry devours its heroes and spits out their bones. But TVXQ stayed. Through splits, lawsuits, military service, an industry that insists youth is the only currency. They stayed, and in staying, they proved something the K-pop machine keeps trying to forget. Greatness is not about the next viral hit. Greatness is showing up, year after year, and still being undeniable. 22 years, 2 members, 1 throne, and the kings who never left. TVXQ dared to be bold. Will you?